closed behind piles of postcards and stationery and racks of sweets. To her right, she found herself facing an attractive delicatessen counter. The woman serving was small, perhaps 60 years old, with white hair and piercing grey eyes. She glanced up at Joss and smiled. "I won't keep you a moment, my dear." The woman in front of Joss turned around. Tall, with dark hair escaping from a knotted headscarf, she gave Joss a friendly grin. "Sorry, I've been buying up the shop. Won't be 2 ticks now." "That's all right," Joss smiled. "I actually came in to ask if you can direct me to Belheddon Hall. It's up by the church. All closed up, you know." Joss bit her lip, trying to master her disappointment. "So the Duncans don't live there anymore?" Both women shook their heads. "It's been empty 5 years at least." The woman behind the counter shivered theatrically. "Spooky old place. My husband and I have only had the shop since '89. I never knew the people up at the Hall. Mary Sutton, though, used to work up at the Hall. She sometimes acts a bit gaga, but I'm sure she could tell you something." "Where could I find her?" "Apple Cottage, on the corner of the green, with a blue gate." There was no bell or knocker on the door, so Joss rapped with her knuckles. 5 minutes later, she gave up. There was obviously no one at home. She crossed the green to the church. "So do you like our little church? It's 13th century, you know." The voice behind her made her jump. A tall, thin man in a dog collar was propping his bicycle against the hedge. He'd watched her for several minutes, impressed by her stillness. As she turned and smiled at him, he saw that she was youngish, early 30s perhaps, her hair dark and heavy, eyes a vivid blue. "I was just coming to collect some books I left in the vestry. Would you like to see round before I lock up?" She nodded. "I was actually looking for the hall, but I'd love to see the church." "You can reach the hall through the gate over there, behind the yews. It's empty, alas, has been for many years." "Did you know the people who lived there?" "I'm afraid not. It was empty when I came to the parish. It's a shame. We need a family there." "Is it for sale, then?" She was dismayed. "No, it still belongs to the Duncan family. I believe Mrs. Duncan lives in France now." Mrs. Duncan. Laura Catherine. Her mother. "You don't have her address, do you?" Joss could hear her voice shaking slightly. "I'm a sort of relative. That's why I came." "I see." He unlocked the door in the porch. "I'm afraid I don't know where she is, but my predecessor might. I can give you his address." "Thank you." Joss stared round. It was a beautiful small church, plain, with whitewashed interior, which showed off the carved stone of the 13th century windows and the arched doorways and the brasses and plaques with which it was lined. "Oh, it's lovely, isn't it?" He surveyed it with fond pride. Is Philip Duncan buried here?" "Indeed he is, out by the oak tree. You'll see his grave if you walk through to the hall." "Is it all right if I go and look at the house? Is there a caretaker or something?" Joss called after him as he disappeared to collect his books. "No, I'm sure it'll be all right if you go and wander round. The gardens used to be beautiful, but they're a wilderness now." He reappeared. "Here, I've scribbled down Edgar Gower's address. He lives near Aldborough." He pushed a piece of paper into her hand. The gravestone by the oak tree was simple and unadorned. Philip Duncan, born 31st of January, 1920. Died 14th November, 1963. Nothing else. No mention of his grieving widow, or his child. She looked down at it for several minutes. When at last she turned away, pulling the collar of her coat up with a shiver against the strengthening wind, she found there were tears in her eyes. It was a long time before she could drag herself away from the old house and walk back to the car. Leaning across the seat, she reached for the road atlas. Aldborough was not all that far away. Edgar Gower's house was tall and narrow, white paint.